had wondered if I'd ever see this place again. For all those months in prison, I kept thinking about the house at the lake. My son Danny and I had some of our happiest times there. But that was years ago, before I met Ellen. Jealous, possessive, beautiful Ellen. My third novel had just been published. Life was pretty good. I took my son up to Glenn's ranch for a visit. Glenn had been my lawyer and my best friend for years. All right, now. Come on out. Come on. There's... All right. There you go.
Danny! Lynn! We were on the smallest plane. You could see the clouds right next to us.
Come on, you guys. Lunch is ready.
Hey, Leader.
So you get in a plane? Oh, yeah.
Hi. Oh, I'm fine. How are you? Oh, how's country life treating you?
2 more years, that's it.
Just said 3 years ago.
You couldn't drag her back to the city. Come on.
Yeah, let me take that from you.
Forget it. She's engaged.
Who is she?
Ellen Berent.
That's Ellen Berent? Dwight Berent's daughter?
Mm-hmm. She's here with her mother and sister. They're staying a few days. She's not right for you.
Dad, that's your book.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to wake you. I'm Richard. This is my son, Danny.
Hi, Danny. Richard.
Hi. Dad, can you help me on the raft?
Sure. There you go. Easy down. There you go. All right. One. One. There's 2. All right, come here, pal. Heel. Whoa, you're getting heavier. Okay, you sit right there. Okay. Get on it. Okay. You be careful.
Come over here. I don't know if
Is he all right?
Oh, yeah, he'll be fine.
Okay, watch this.
Oh, I'm sorry. You look so much like my father.
A little younger, I hope. How do you like Time Without Wings?
Have you read it?
Yeah, I have.
Gets a little dull right around the middle, don't you think?
Do you think so?
Richard Harland. Glenn told me we'd be meeting a famous author this weekend, so I went out and bought the book.
Oh.
Hey, Dad, I'm going out where Lynn is.
All right, just stay close to the edge and be careful.
And where's Mrs. Harland this weekend?
There is no Mrs. Harland. She was killed in an automobile accident 5 years ago. A drunk hit the car head on. Danny was crippled. End of story.
I can't imagine. I'm so sorry.
Come on, help!
Richard, how long will you and Danny be staying?
Well, actually, we have to go back on Monday.
So soon? You just got here. You've got to go fishing.
All right, we can do that tomorrow.
The funeral is tomorrow.
My father died 3 months ago, Richard. He told me he wanted his ashes scattered here in the hills above the ranch. We came here for the funeral.
I haven't been on a horse in 20 years.
Well, I can drive you in the Jeep.
You said you'd ride horseback.
It's far too early, Anita. We're leaving at dawn.
We're having our own private ceremony, just the way Father would have wanted it.
I wonder.
Ruth, don't you think Richard looks just like Father? It's really quite amazing, isn't it?
Well, yes, actually, he does a little.
Looking for Ellen?
Would you like some wine?
No. She went for a walk.
What makes you think I'm looking for Ellen?
Am I wrong?
No. All right, so tell me about Russell Quinton.
He's running for district attorney, and he's engaged to Ellen. But you knew that. Look, I better go in.
I'm very sorry about your father.
Oh, he wasn't really my father. My parents died in a plane crash when I was 7, and the Berents adopted me. Ellen and I are cousins. It's much harder on her. Ellen was very close to him. They were very much alike. Well, good night.
Night.
Putting your hand all the way out of the way. That's right. No, you're getting it. You're not getting your nose full, are you? Okay, reach. Oh, that's good. I just think, come on. That's a boy. Come on. See how strong you are? You don't even know your own strength.
What are you doing out here? Came to find me, didn't you?
You know, it's very cold out here for you to be dressed like that. Here, this on.
Thank you.
When are you getting married?
Who told you?
Glenn, it's not a secret you're wearing a ring.
We're engaged, so I guess we're getting married. Anita told me that you haven't had a serious girlfriend in years.
Well, no. Maybe a couple of not-too-serious ones, that's all.
How come?
I don't know. Just never met the right one, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And, what is the right one like? I bet you have it all figured out. Writers are like that, aren't they?
No. Only on paper. Russell Quentin must be an incredible guy. Ellen. We have to go in, okay? Come on.
Richard? Thought you might be out here. The sky's incredible, isn't it?
I went to the funeral this morning.
I wonder if Lloyd really wanted his ashes scattered here.
She must have gone back up there.
Richard, probably none of my business, but I'd stay clear if I were you.
Why?
Well, for one thing, she's getting married in 2 months.
I don't care.
Richard, she's not right for you. You're a writer. You need room. She's possessive. I can't explain it. I just know you won't be happy.
Well, you're right. It is none of your business.
Good morning.
Morning. Sleep well?
Oh, very. Do you have any sweetener?
Yeah.
There you go. Oh, no pink ones?
There you go.
I'm famished.
Morning.
Hi.
Morning.
Oh, pancakes. Are there any left?
I'll make you some.
No. Finish eating. I'll do it. Where's the batter?
It's on the counter.
Ellen, you want some? Okay. Did Richard go with you?
No, he left before Glenn.
Ruth? Do you know where Richard went?
He went out fishing. I was up early. I saw him before he went.
Is that when you did this?
Let me see.
Oh, that's
Wonderful.
wonderful.
Very good.
It really looks like him.
Yeah,
catch. It's not very good. Ruth,
Don't bother fixing anything for me. I'm not hungry. I told you I wanted to go fishing with you.
So you did.
You said you didn't want to go.
Actually, I said that I did want to go, but then I woke up before you woke up, and so I didn't want to. You are really determined to do this, aren't you?
Shh, don't talk.
No, I have to talk.
Later.
No, later is going to be too late. Ellen, don't get me wrong. I'm not a saint, but this is not a good idea. I mean, it's a great idea, but it's not right. I don't want to want somebody that I can't ever have. And, you are definitely unavailable. Do you understand?
What if I were?
This machine is answering for Russell Quinton. I'm not in, but I'll return your call promptly if you'll leave your name and a short message. There is no beep. You may begin talking.
Russell, darling. It's Ellen. I was hoping you'd be there. I just hate leaving this message.
Hey, I'm here, Ellen.
Russell, you're there.
Yeah, I just got out of the shower.
Russell, something has happened. Now, I owe you the truth, so just let me tell you. I don't know how it happened. I didn't expect it, but I've fallen in love with someone else.
Ruth, would you go with us?
To Europe? I don't know. I don't suppose you'd go, Ellen.
To Europe?
No, I can't.
Hello? Yeah. Ellen, it's for you. Russell Quinton.
Hello, Russell? I'm going to put you on hold and move to another phone. I can't explain it, and I wish you'd stop asking me to. There's nothing more to say.
I think there's a lot more to say.
Russell, I am not going to get over it, and I won't change my mind.
Because it makes sense.
Damn it, I don't love you. I never really did. Now I'm going to marry Richard Harland. Is that clear enough?
Oh, that's clear enough. I haven't any idea what you're talking about. You think this for money? It's all...
Of course. Of course we'll still be friends. Oh, Russell, I can't tell you how much it means to me that you forgive me. Yes, and you're being so understanding. I'll call you when I get back to the city. Take care.
You really gonna call Russell when you get back to the city?
Not if you don't want me to. Oh. Hey, Richard. What am I going to do without you?
You don't ever have to be without me. What's the matter? What? Tell me, come on, what?
You say that now, but you'll be in the country, and I'll be in the city, and we won't be together.
It's not that far. I've got a housekeeper for Danny during the week, and I can come up and visit.
Well, there's no privacy in my mother's house.
Well, then you can come and stay with us.
Live with you?
Yes. Of course.
No, Mother would be furious. I mean, I can't tell her that I'm breaking my engagement with Russell and moving in with you. It's just too soon after Father's death. Richard, let's get married. I love you so much. We could do it right now, and then nobody could say anything. Not Mother, not Russell. Oh, and it'd be better for Danny, too.
But Danny has to finish school. I'm not done writing the book. We wouldn't be able to have a honeymoon for I don't know how long.
I don't care about a honeymoon. Don't you love me?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Lynn, everybody's waiting.
I'm coming.
What's going on?
Hush.
Richard and I have something to tell you. We're getting married. Well, isn't it just wonderful?
Well, I didn't expect it. Well, yes, it's wonderful. When?
Well, as soon as we can get a license.
Oh, Dad, it's great.
You approve?
Yeah.
Good.
Congratulations, Richard.
Thank you, Margaret. Thank you.
I wish you both great happiness.
Thanks, Glenn.
Congratulations, Richard. I'm very happy for you.
Thanks, and so am I.
Ellen, what about Russell?
Well, I told him, and he was very understanding. He says he just wants me to be happy.
Well, I'm sure that you will be.
Ruth, I couldn't be happier.
I don't believe this. All I can say is Russell has had a narrow escape. If Ellen can be that fickle.
Well, I would expect it of Ellen. I don't understand Richard.
Don't you? I think I do. Richard's lonely. Your sister's dazzled him. He thinks the relationship can last.
Well, it might.
No, it won't. It will take him a long time to admit it, if ever.
She is unique.
Unique. Oh, Ruth. You always find an excuse for your sister.
Yeah, it's still in the laundry. I'll get it out of the dryer.
Is she upstairs?
Russell, let me just tell her that you're here.
Hello, Russell.
I have to talk to you. Alone.
Ellen, I tried to stop him.
Would you leave us alone for a few minutes? What are you doing here, Russell?
Explain it to me, Ellen.
I thought I already had.
I love you. I always will. Give me a chance to change your mind. What can I do?
Why are you asking me this? What do you expect me to say?
The truth, for once.
I am passionate about Richard. It was never like that between us.
Call it off.
No.
Well, at least wait a decent amount of time.
Of course. You're worried about how this is going to affect your political career. Well, don't worry. I'll vote for you on Tuesday. Mrs. Kelsey, could you give me a hand with these? There. I got everything you're going to need to make lunch. Did you see those recipes that I left? Mrs. Kelsey, the recipes? Are you listening to me?
Mr. Harland doesn't eat lunch.
Really?
Danny eats at school. Mr. Harland has a yogurt at his desk.
Well, things will be different now. Richard, Mr. Harland will be joining me for lunch.
I don't make lunch.
Exactly what do you do?
I take care of Danny.
Well, Danny is at school. Now, we'll have lunch at 12:30, and I'd like it served in the dining room.
I'm on my way. Hello. Well, what's all this?
Will you sit down, darling? I thought you needed a good meal. Just working at it for hours, and I get so lonesome when you're up there.
Did Mrs. Kelsey do this?
Well, not exactly. She started it, and I finished it.
I didn't think so. She's sort of a meat and potatoes kind of woman, if you know what I mean.
Darling? Mrs. Kelsey quit. Well, she was so resentful of me, and she wouldn't talk to me, and she'd been sulking for days, and finally, she just walked out. I pleaded with her to stay and say goodbye to Danny, but she wouldn't.
Honey, why didn't you just tell me that?
Well, you were working. I don't know. I was just so afraid that you might be too busy.
Shh, okay. It's all right. We'll find somebody else, that's all.
You're not mad?
No. Now, actually, Danny's the one who liked her. And we both hated her cooking.
And we're going to the lake soon anyway.
That's right. We'll find somebody when we get back in the fall, okay?
Honey, is it really beautiful there?
Yes. Yes, it is. The air is clean and the water is clear and there's not too many people around.
Just us.
Yeah. Just you and me and Danny.
That sounds perfect. So damn hot. Aren't you hot?
There's spray up at the house.
They don't seem to bite you.
Nope. Not sweet enough, I guess.
How long have you worked for Richard?
Oh, 7 years almost.
Then you knew his first wife.
I work for other people, too. Richard's away all winter, so I look after the place.
Am I like her?
She was a good lady. I don't think I know you well enough to say.
Richard? What are you doing, honey? Are you done working?
Oh.
Bad day.
No, just hard.
Oh, that feels wonderful. I just want to finish this draft so I can put it away for a while.
I like that idea. How about if we take a trip? We could go to Rome.
Honey, Rome would be too hard for Danny.
You're right. Of course. It was a silly idea.
Hey. Come here.
Richard.
What? What's the matter?
They can hear us.
What?
Richard, this house has walls like cardboard. Danny can hear us, and Leif can hear us. Leif shouldn't be living here anyway. Can't he stay somewhere else?
All right. But let me handle it, okay? He's been a good friend for a long time. It could be a little touchy.
Could you talk to him today, Richard?
Ellen, what's the matter?
You haven't even noticed, have you? You've been working so hard.
Wait. Noticed what?
Nothing. Please, just ask him to move.
Ellen. What's going on?
He's been coming on to me, Richard. I think he should stay somewhere else.
Cold.
Oh, well, don't worry. I'll be right beside you, and if you get too cold, come out.
You really think I can make it?
Well, we're almost halfway there. I think so. Now, don't worry about your course. I'll guide you.
Ellen, you haven't told Dad about this. He doesn't know how far I can go, does he?
No, Danny.
Good. Don't tell him. I want to surprise him when I can swim all the way from the buoy to the dock.
I won't tell him, sweetheart.
You're right on time, honey. Come on, down to the dock.
Who's here?
Your mother and Ruth.
What are they doing here?
It's a surprise.
How could you?
I thought you'd be glad.
Glad? You invite them here without telling me, and you thought I'd be glad?
You were bored. I thought it would cheer you up.
If you want to cheer me up, spend some time with me. Thank you. Beautiful.
Richard.
Oh, Margaret. How was your trip?
Wonderful.
Well, welcome. Be careful now. I'll take this.
Danny. Hi. How are you? Oh, fine. Great.
You want to come on up?
No, thanks.
Hi.
Come on, have a beer.
Some other time.
Oh, you look so tan.
Looks pretty good, doesn't it?
Yes, wonderful. Where's Ellen?
Hi.
Hi.
What a nice surprise. I've been so lonesome for both of you. I'm so glad you're here.
Colton's wanted us to come to Sag Harbor. It's such a long trip. So when Richard called and invited us out, it was just the excuse we needed.
So, Ruth, are you working now?
Yes, I've been painting. We fixed up your father's den for Ruth.
I'd like to see some of your stuff.
Really? Well, I did bring some with me.
Well, maybe tomorrow morning.
What have you done with the den?
We turned it into a studio. Well, Ruth needs a place where she can paint.
You just cleaned it out? Got rid of everything as if he never existed?
I don't want to keep your father's things around. It's too hard for me.
Excuse me. Let very tired. I'm going to go to bed. I'll see you in the morning.
You know, this stuff is great. It really is. Now, that's very interesting. Could I borrow this? I'd like to show it to my publisher.
What for?
I don't have a cover yet for the book. Maybe Ruth could do it.
Yeah, I'd like to give you a manuscript of the book. It's not finished yet, but it's pretty much there. Maybe you could read it and come up with something.
Why are you doing this to her? She'll get her hopes up and then she won't get it.
Well, who knows, honey? Maybe she will.
She won't. You're teasing her.
I am not. Now, why would I do that?
It's not her art, that's for sure. She's just not that talented. Richard, if you tell her she's good, she'll believe you. She looks up to you.
Ellen, I think she is good.
Ruth's been flirting with you, hasn't she?
That's absurd.
You're flattered. That's why this sudden interest in her career.
What is wrong with you? I'm just trying to help your sister.
Well, don't. No one asked you to help her.
Fine.
Richard, I'm sorry. It's me. I didn't want her to come here. I was afraid this would happen.
Are you that unsure of me? Ellen, I love you. I'm not flirting with anybody.
I'm scared that you're going to leave me. Promise me you'll never leave me, Richard. I couldn't stand it. Oh, I couldn't.
All right, you're clear. Bye now.
Bye. Thank you.
Son, I just hate to take your money like this. Listen, put the hook on. You're not doing macrame. Sit through here. Go. It's much better. Okay, go see. Okay, you about ready?
I'm ready.
This is going to be our third trip uphill. There's a good chance you'll get skunked again.
Oh, give me a break.
You lose the $5, you know.
Oh, please. I'm going to catch one.
All right.
I'd say this big at least.
We don't even have fish that big out there.
You want to bet $10?
$10 will have my name on it.
Ellen, I'm cold.
You'll be just fine.
Ellen?
What is it, Danny?
I have a cramp. I'm getting tired.
You can do it this time.
I can't do it. Ellen, I gotta get out. I have a cramp, Ellen. Ellen, help me. Ellen? Ellen! Help me! Ellen! Help! Help me! Help! Help me!
Danny.
Richard? I didn't expect you. Oh, no, don't go.
I just came in. I wanted to sit. Look, you've got work to do.
No, that's all right. I'd much rather talk to you. Here. Chocolate chip. You want one?
No, thanks. Look, I'll come back some other time. I'm not very good company.
Do you want to talk? I know it's hard on both of you staying here.
He sold the house so quickly.
It must have been awful to be there without Danny.
I'm losing him, Mother.
Richard?
Mm-hmm.
He's in mourning. You won't lose him.
He won't talk to me.
He talks to you?
Not really. He's just polite. It's been 2 months and he's still sleeping in the guest room. I know he blames me for Danny's death.
Ellen, what happened?
You know what happened.
I know you're a good swimmer. Did you panic? Were you too far away?
What are you saying, that I didn't try to save him?
Please, don't get upset.
Richard thinks it's my fault, and so do you.
No.
That's what you both think, don't you?
No.
Well, God, I tried.
No one ever said that.
Oh, you don't know how horrible it was. I kept diving over and over, but I couldn't find him.
Ellen, please listen to me. No one is blaming you. Richard lost his only son. He's angry at the world. Maybe you're blaming yourself. Darling, I wish I could help you. Give Richard time. He'll heal. The child is so precious.
Richard, don't blame me. I tried to save him. It just all happened so fast, and he went so deep. It was too late. I couldn't find him. Oh, I miss him too. And I miss you so much. Richard, where have you been, darling? I've been waiting for you. I have something to tell you. I know how hard it's been and how terrible these last months have been for you. I hope this will help, sweetheart. I'm pregnant. Well, isn't it wonderful? We're going to have a baby.
It's wonderful, honey. It's wonderful.
Here you go. I want you to eat these.
It will make me throw up.
No, it won't. Just try it.
Stop feeding me. I can't eat anything.
The book says crackers help.
Nothing will help. The little beast is killing me. That shocks you, doesn't it? You think it's all dewy-eyed and miraculous. Well, it's not. I feel sick and ugly and fat, and I hate being pregnant. All Richard cares about is this baby, not me.
It's silly.
Is it?
Look, Ellen, I know you don't feel well, but it's so wonderful what's happening.
Don't
you just
lecture me. Too bad it isn't you. You and Richard would have such a good time going to the doctor and eating saltines together.
Why are you being cruel?
Oh, Ruthie the victim. You think I don't see what's going on between you and Richard? Answer me.
You want to own Richard. And you surround him with so much jealousy that no one can even get near him. Your love devours people, Ellen. I feel sorry for you.
Don't. Don't waste your time feeling sorry for me.
Just sit down a minute and let me try to understand this. You were so absolutely determined to get pregnant, and now...
Now I am, and now I don't like it. It's making an ugly old woman out of me.
Well, now it's perfectly natural to feel
don't
that...
patronize me, Doctor.
Ellen, I'm trying to make you understand. Who's going to sign the consent forms?
It's my body. I'm not asking for anything illegal. I want it done now before it's too late.
Have you discussed this with Richard at all?
No. And I'm not going to, and neither are you.
Ellen, Richard's my friend, and he's also your husband. It's inconceivable to me that you should ask me to keep this from him.
God, you're a pompous bitch.
Well, I can't do this, Ellen. You'll have to go someplace else.
I will.
Ellen?
Did she call? Her car's gone.
She'll probably be back for lunch.
No, I don't think so. Margaret said that she didn't make her bed, so that means that either Ellen made it after she got up, which is highly unlikely, or she didn't sleep here last night. Now, why would she do that? Is she trying to scare me? Is that it?
I'll bet she went to the lake.
Did she talk to you? Did she say anything?
No, not really. She said you only care about the baby and not her.
Ruth, sometimes I feel like I'm standing in quicksand.
Leif?
Mrs. Harland!
Richard.
What happened, Ellen?
Richard. I went to the cabin to get away. Ruth said some things. I just needed time to think. I started to feel so strange, and I got scared. I thought maybe I should go to the hospital. I don't know. I guess I just fainted. I know how much you wanted the baby.
Ruth, it might not be the right thing to say, but I'm glad that it happened. If she'd have kept the baby, I would have stayed with her, and I can't do that. It's just not the same between us anymore. It hasn't been for a long time. Not since Danny died.
You're upset. You don't really mean it.
Yes, I do. I stayed too long. Maybe because she got pregnant, I don't know. I do know that I can't go on lying to myself anymore.
Lying? What do you mean?
Doesn't matter. But it's over, and I'm going to tell her. It's going to be hard, but I'm going to do it.
She won't believe you.
Yes, she will.
No, she'll fight for you, Richard. She won't just let you go.
She's not going to have a choice.
She'll convince you to stay. She always gets her way.
Ruth.
Whatever she did.
Would you listen?
Whatever happened. You'll forgive her. She'll win, Richard.
I don't love her.
Richard? I thought that was your car. Come in and talk to me. Where have you been?
Working. I like my new office.
I called your office. There was no answer. Have you seen Ruth?
No.
She's been out all day.
Well, not with me.
Look what I found.
So?
Ruth's cover. Why didn't you tell me she was doing your cover?
You never read my work. We never even discuss it. Why should I bother?
You knew I'd hate it. Go to hell.
You're right. Ellen, you're absolutely right. You win.
She's my sister. You have no right.
No right? No right to what? To encourage her career? Is that what you object to?
I don't want you involved with her. I don't want you to even talk to her. Oh, Richard, please, let's move away from here. Let's go anywhere else.
Ellen, it won't make any difference. No matter where we go.
Why are you being so cold? It's Danny, isn't it?
Now, we have to spend some time apart from one another. I'm going to go to New York for a week.
Oh, please, Richard, don't go. No, I tried to save him. Please, why won't you believe me?
It wasn't completely an accident,
Yes, it was. He disappeared.
Ellen, you had to see him when he went underwater.
Did she know I couldn't find him? Oh, Richard, I tried to find him.
You didn't try. You only started trying when you heard me coming, and then it was too late.
No, Richard's book came today. I liked your cover.
Thank you.
You were right, you know. About the baby. I pretended I didn't want it because I was afraid something would go wrong. Oh, Ruth. I have the hardest time sleeping. And then when I do, I have these terrible nightmares. Do you still have those sleeping pills?
I don't like them. They're much too strong. You want them?
Yes.
Sure.
New York. Thank you, Ruth.
Big double.
Dear Russell, by the time this letter reaches you, it may be too late.
I think it's better if you go first.
She'll be suspicious. I've never been to New York. She won't believe I'm going alone.
You don't have to tell her where you're going.
Oh. The lies, it just gets so complicated.
I know you're worried. I just wish you were going today. I don't want you to be there when I tell her.
Well, her birthday's on Saturday. I should wait. At least till after the party.
Ruth, I know you're afraid of her. But don't worry, she's gonna have to let go now. It's all gonna be over soon.
Oh, I'm sure they will. Looks good. I'll get it.
Happy birthday! Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
Look at how great you look.
Hello.
Birthday girl, happy birthday.
Thank you. Hi, Ruth.
Oh, happy birthday. So nice to see you.
Thank you. It's so good to see you.
You look wonderful.
Yeah, I wish you would.
Mother. Darling.
Everything looks just wonderful.
I'd love to take credit.
Did Ruth make the cake?
Ruth made the cake.
Of course. Oh, thank you. You know, I think I'll tell Ruth how much I like the cake.
Oh, Ellen, do.
Oh.
Ruth, the cake is just beautiful. Thank you.
Oh, sure.
Wonderful. So, Richard, could I see you in the living room for a minute?
Sure. You feeling all right?
When are you leaving for New York?
Wednesday.
I want to go with you.
No. Ellen, we need a break from one another.
What good will that do us?
I don't want to discuss this right now.
I do want to discuss this right now.
It's your birthday. Why don't you try to enjoy yourself and we can talk about this tomorrow?
After Ruth leaves? She's still my sister, Richard. Sisters tell one another everything.
She wouldn't talk to you about something like that.
Maybe not. But what if she did?
Then I guess it wouldn't make any difference, would it? Because you'd have to find out about it sooner or later, wouldn't you? We don't love each other, Ellen. We don't have to go on pretending we do.
I love you. I'll always love you.
You love me. Is that why you let my son drown? To show your love for me?
You won't be happy with Ruth. You think you will, but you won't.
What happened with Danny?
You'll come back, and then it'll just be...
What happened with him out there?
I let him drown. It was the only way. What else could I do? Danny. Everything was for Danny. He was pathetic. I had no choice. When I found him in the water, Richard, he put his arms around me, and he understood. He forgave me.
Richard! Richard, please, please go back. Richard, don't leave me. Richard! What happened?
Ruth. Ruth.
Ellen, what's the matter with you?
Call them.
What?
I'm going to die.
What are you talking about?
The hospital. Call them.
What did you take?
Pills.
What pills?
Sleeping pills.
The bottle is full, Ellen. You took one damn sleeping pill. It's not going to work. Your histrionics are not going to work. Go to sleep.
Help me. Ruth. Help me.
Ellen.
Dr. Stewart, report to
Michael,
11.
You got a barbiturate OD downstairs, suicide, Ellen Berent.
Lambert's doing the toxicological analysis in the morning.
No, you do it. I got the DA pushing on this one.
Yes, sir.
going on?
I have a warrant, Richard. Russell Quinton doesn't believe that Ellen committed suicide.
Warrant? What?
Ruth.
You can see her at the arraignment. Ruth Berent murdered her sister. She had only one motive, but this motive had been growing in her since she was a little girl. Jealousy. A jealousy of a sister who could never compete, who could never win. Jealousy that ate away at her soul until she was ready to sacrifice anything, do anything that would spite Ellen Berent. Even commit murder. I will prove that Ruth bought the barbiturates that killed Ellen Berent and cleverly placed the drug in an artificial sweetener packet. This packet that was found in the trash in the Berent house during the investigation. And then she put the drug in her sister's tea and waited for her to die.
The district attorney wants you to believe that Ruth Berent is burning with jealousy. That simply isn't true. Ruth had no reason to be jealous of Ellen Berent because Richard Harland no longer loved Ellen Berent. He'd fallen in love with Ruth. I'll show you a web of lies and a carefully executed murder. All of this committed by Ellen Berent, who with forethought and malice took her own life.
Dr. Boyd, you are the medical examiner and coroner for the city of Los Angeles?
That's right.
And you've reviewed all the records concerning the death of Ellen Berent?
Yes, I have.
Could you establish the cause of death for the court, please, Doctor?
Barbiturate overdose by ingesting secobarbital.
Sleeping pills.
That's right.
There are 28 capsules in this pharmaceutical container, Doctor. Capsules which we've established are filled with talcum powder. Now, was the barbiturate in these capsules enough to kill Ellen Berent?
Yes, it was.
Thank you. No further questions. You and your husband adopted Ruth when she was 7, isn't that correct?
Yes.
How old was Ellen at the time?
She was 9.
Did the girls get along?
Yes.
Really? Isn't it true that there was jealousy between the girls from the very start?
Objection.
Overruled.
Well, in the beginning, a little.
Ellen was her father's favorite, wasn't she?
She was very close to him.
And of the two girls, clearly the beauty. Mrs. Barrett?
Yes.
The rivalry worried you, didn't it?
Well, sometimes, but I don't think it was unusual.
Did Ellen ever mention suicide to you?
I don't understand.
Well, did she ever say that she intended to kill herself?
No.
Do you believe, and I ask this of you as a mother, and no one knows a daughter better than her own mother. Do you believe, beyond a reasonable doubt, that Ellen committed suicide?
I don't know.
Thank you. Can you tell the court whose book this is?
It's Richard's book.
Richard Harland's new book. And this is your artwork on the cover, is that right?
Yes, it's my work.
Do you recognize this airline ticket?
It's my ticket to New York.
Why were you flying to New York, Ruth?
A vacation. I needed to get away.
With Richard Harland. You had reservations at the Plaza Hotel, and you intended on meeting Richard in New York, didn't you?
Yes, but you're twisting it.
Please give a simple yes or no answer, Miss Berent.
Yes.
It was your intent to entice Richard Harland away from his wife, wasn't it, Ruth?
Objection?
If you have a question, Mr. Quentin, please ask it.
I have a question, Your Honor. Are you in love with Richard Harland? Yes or no?
Yes.
I have no further questions, Your Honor.
But I didn't kill Ellen. I pitied her, but I never would have hurt her.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Please step down, Miss Berent.
I'm up here.
What is all this?
I found these things in her bag. What would she be doing with this? All that talk about the sweetener, I kept wondering, how did it get in the packet? Look, traces of powder here. Maybe they'll find it's secobarbital. I wanted to believe it was an accident. I didn't want to believe she could do this.
Margaret, Glenn told me that Russell has a letter that Ellen sent him. It looks pretty bad.
With the court's permission, Your Honor. Ruth, whose handwriting is this?
It's Ellen's.
I would like the court to know that at one time Ellen Berent and I were engaged. This letter was sent to me, and I received it the day she died. Would you read it aloud, please?
Dear Russell.
Objection. I'll not allow my client to be put through this theatrical demonstration.
Sustained.
Very well, I'll read it. Dear Russell, by the time this letter reaches you, it may be too late. I'm afraid that Ruth is trying to kill me, and perhaps she will succeed. She has already turned Richard against me, and this sadness I feel is so great that I think that I am truly lost. Can you ever forgive me for betraying you, Russell, if only to protect me now when I am without friends? Ellen. I have no further questions.
Do you have further questions, Mr. Roby?
No, Your Honor.
This court is adjourned until 10 a.m. tomorrow.
Glenn, what if they found traces of barbiturate on that paper I showed you?
No, it's too risky. There were no fingerprints. Quentin's going to say that Ruth used it.
Ellen planted it, didn't she? She's reaching out from the grave, trying to destroy us all.
Come on. Let me take you home. Look, go upstairs. I'll fix us a drink.
Glenn? It's blue. It's blue. I thought there were blue packets in the basket, but the one in evidence is pink. This one fell out of the pocket of her jacket. This is the jacket Ellen wore to the party.
Careful.
That's it. Ellen switched it. I knew it.
Look. There's powder in the pocket. Maybe we got lucky. Richard, when was the last time you saw Ellen Berent alive?
At her birthday party.
Can you tell us what happened that day?
We argued. Ellen and I argued.
How serious was the argument?
It was serious enough that I hit her.
Hard?
She fell down.
When did Ellen drink the tea with sweetener? Was it before you had the argument?
I didn't see any tea with sweetener, and I left right afterwards.
Richard, tell the court what you and Ellen discussed that day.
I told her that I was going to leave her. That I didn't love her anymore, and I hadn't for a long time. Not since Danny died.
Tell us about Danny, Richard.
Irrelevant, Your Honor.
We have a possible suicide here, Your Honor. Ellen Berent's character is very relevant.
Overruled. We were at the house on the lake for the summer. Ellen was teaching Danny how to swim. My son was crippled, so he was very proud of the fact that he could learn how to swim. But by then, Ellen was already tired of him. He was getting in her way. I didn't realize that. That day on the lake, Danny was swimming. It was a long swim for him, and he got in trouble. I was up at the house working, and I heard him. So I looked out the window, and I saw my son go underwater. And Ellen was just sitting there in the boat. So I started running. When I got outside, Danny had come up again, but he was screaming. And Ellen was just sitting there. When I started to get closer to her, she saw me and she started diving, but by then it was too late. She told me that it was an accident, and then she tried to save him. I was so in love with her that I was blind. It was like I was hypnotized. And then I just couldn't face the fact until the party. At the party, Ellen told me my son was pathetic and that she let him drown. Mr. Quentin, you think that she was the victim, but you didn't know her. She was a monster, and she murdered my son. She hated Danny. She hates Ruth, and that's why all this is happening. Can't you see that? Can't you see?
Your Honor, we have some new evidence that's developed here. May I approach the bench?
All right, this court will be recessed for 10 minutes. Mr. Quentin, Mr. Roby, please join me in chambers. Mr. Quentin, traces of a barbiturate were found in Ellen's pocket, plus the original unopened packet of sweetener. It seems Ellen Berent should be on trial here.
Your Honor, I'm sure you'll agree that in light of the new evidence, the case against Ruth Berent should be dismissed.
Mr. Quentin?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, could I have a moment?
Any objections, Mr. Roby?
No, Your Honor.
New evidence has come to the attention of this court, which confirms that Ellen Berent committed suicide. All charges against Ruth Berent are dismissed. Order in the court. Would Mr. Richard Harland please rise? It is the opinion of this court that you have obstructed justice by concealing evidence. Evidence regarding the drowning death of Daniel Harland. I request the district attorney's office investigate this matter further for the filing of felony charges. Pending the conclusion of that investigation, which I trust will be completed today, I order Richard Harland to be taken into custody forthwith. Bailiff, this court is adjourned.
I served 18 months of the sentence. Then they let me out. It was finally over, and I was home.